Welcome to the Church of Thomas. 6:11:10, Ravening Animal. I was reading the Chronicles of Narnia the other day, and I had been reading the Reconciler Gospel of Thomas as well, and I saw a connection between the two, and I thought it was very interesting. Here is what I read in the Chronicles of Narnia. This was one of the middle stories. It's not one of the ones that most people have heard about. But this is, the kids have been thrown back into Narnia after a long period of time, and there's a war brewing. Anyway, that's the background. They're trying to get back to the area that is where the war is going on. "I left it too late," said Susan in an embarrassed voice. "I was so afraid it might be, one of our kind of bears, a talking bear." She hated killing things. "That's the trouble with it," said Trumpkin. "When most of the beasts have gone enemy or gone dumb, but there are still some of the other kind left. You never know, and you dare not wait to see." "Poor old Bruin," said Susan. "You don't think he was?" "Not he," said the dwarf. "I saw the face, and I heard the snarl. He only wanted little girl for his dessert. And talking of breakfast, I don't want to discourage your majesties when you said you hoped King Caspian would give you a good one. But meat's precious scarce in camp, and there's a good eating on a bear. It would be a shame to leave the carcass without taking a bit, and it won't delay us more than a half an hour. I dare say you two youngsters, kings I should say, know how to skin a bear." "Let's go and sit down a fair way off," said Susan to Lucy. "I know what a horrid mess business that will be." Lucy shuddered and nodded. And when she had sat down, she said, "Such a horrible idea has come into my head, Sue." "What's that?" "Wouldn't it be dreadful if someday, in our own world, at home, men started going wild inside, like animals here, still looking like men, so that you'd never know which were which?" Reconciler Gospel of Thomas, verse 7. Jesus said, "Blessed is the ravening wild animal which becomes a person when consumed by a person." This is the evolution of the soul. Cursed is the person who is the ravening wild animal consumes, and the person becomes a ravening wild animal. This is being ruled by animal passions. This is important to understand because in our world where life is becoming cheaper by the minute, to devalue any human being and say that they are not worth being treated properly is part of what it needs to be to become a ravening wild animal. What Jesus was talking about was the idea that our animal passions, our angers, our feeling for destruction, our desire to subjugate and control, are part of what hold us back from embracing God. Without being able to consume the wild animal, the ravening animal inside of us, we cannot become fully human. And to become fully human is to be able to embrace God. I think that it was very insightful that the book talked about it in the far past. I wonder if Lewis was actually inspired by Thomas at some point. It would be interesting to find out what the history behind that is, since the wording is so similar. The idea of having a friend who looks like a wild animal but is actually a person inside is another side of this. What if you judge somebody by their appearance only to find out later that they were the sweetest, gentlest bear you had ever known, but you hurt them? Judging people by their appearances is the flip side of that. So, in summation, I think it would be best for everyone to examine how they express their animal sides, and we all have them, and how they try to control them or focus them in ways that are not destructive to other people or to our relationship with God. If all we ever crave is our own self-gratification, satisfaction, and wants, then we are animals. If we try to put others before ourselves, if we try to calm the wild beast within all of us and harness it to be a drive and a focus for our expressions in a gentle way, then we have found a way to focus it towards finding God. I hope all of you are able to control and modify your animal so that you can become truly human. God bless the whole world, no exceptions. Angel Eliza.